Hey kids, good to be here with you today. Just want to take a few moments and talk to you about something that maybe some of you are dealing with, and that might be fear. Maybe fear because school and everything's kind of been thrown upside down. It's called topsy-turvy, when you just don't know what's going to happen. You're at home all the time, you're fighting with brothers and sisters maybe a little bit more than normal, maybe sometimes with mom and dad, because you're just with each other all the time. And you kind of wish things would just go back the way they were, riding your bikes, playing with your friends, just doing those kinds of things, even going to school. And so it may bring up within you kind of some fear about what does tomorrow look like. Well, you know what I want to tell you is God tells us not to have any fear. Why? Because God is with us. And he says, I'm going to never leave you or forsake you, which means I'm never going to turn my back on you. I'm always going to be there for you and with you. And God is with you right now. So you and I aren't to have fear. You and I are to have courage and strength and know that God is with us, and that we just have to keep doing the things that God wants us to, which we know what they look like because of Jesus. Jesus showed us how God wants you and I to treat each other. Treat mom and dad, your brother, your sister, and sometimes how to just treat yourself with kindness and care. Well, I did find it kind of interesting. I was looking, though, at things that some people are afraid of, and I can't pronounce all the names. I'd mess them up. But I'll tell you, three of them that I thought were kind of interesting, and you might, with me, think they might be a little bit funny unless it's something you're afraid of too. One of them is, did you know that some people are afraid of clowns? And there's a special name for that. All of these things that people are afraid of, they're called a phobia, which means a fear. But one of them is to be afraid of clowns. Well, I kept looking, and I saw another one. Did you know that some people are afraid to wash their bodies or wash their hands? Now, I'm sure that's none of you guys' problem. I bet you when mom and dad say, let's go get a bath, you're just more than willing to get in the bathtub or the shower. Of course, unless you're outside playing and you'd rather be playing with your friends or doing something else. But there are people who are literally afraid to clean themselves, and it's really hard on them. And then the other one that I thought was really, to me, was kind of funny. But again, if you're a person who's afraid of it, it's not funny. But did you know that there are people who are afraid that ducks are watching them? I'd never heard of that one before. And that's why it kind of tickled me. But I know that fears are real. And sometimes they really don't make a lot of sense. You know, what would a duck do to you if it's watching you anyway? What harm comes from washing your hands, especially right now when you're probably being told to wash your hands quite often in order to prevent something bad, the virus, from making you sick. And so that's a good thing, but some people are still afraid of it. Or how about clowns? I've seen some scary movies with clowns. I don't like those kinds of movies. But you know what? I do like clowns that are funny and have great big smiles. There are clowns that make animals out of balloons. There are clowns that I've met and have come and put their hand on my shoulder and given me encouragement. But still, some people are afraid of clowns. So you and I, there are fears. And you probably have some too. But know that God is with you. You don't need to fear those things. There's a guy that God chose to lead his people many years ago. So many years ago, it's before I was even born. And you too. And his name was Joshua. And God came to him and said, Joshua, I want you to lead my people. I want you to take them into what God called the Promised Land, a place that was going to provide a good tomorrow for them, and to give them a place of hope. And he said, I want you to lead them in there. I want you to be strong. I want you to be courageous. I want you to be bold. I want you to have no fear at all. And so Joshua, because of that promise of God, that God would be with him, he took Israel and he led them into that promised place. And good things happened because they did what God wanted them to, And I'm sure that they were kind of uncertain about what things look like, but they did it anyway. They didn't let their fear keep them from doing the good things God wanted them to do. Well, that's what I want you to know today. I want you to be that kind of people. I want you, no matter what's going on right now, I want you to take every day. I want you to put your best effort into it. I want you to follow the things that you've learned about Jesus. And I want you just to go and live each day, one day at a time, and just do the best you can at having a really good day with yourself and with everybody around you. And know that God is with you. No fear, no fear.